It had been 32 years since I first slipped that gold band onto my finger, nervously, excitedly, with trembling hands and a heart so full it could burst. 32 years of partnership, of laughter, of compromise, of routines built like stone walls around us. And then, almost silently, it ended. Not with a fight. Not with infidelity. But with absence. James had passed 3 winters ago. My name is Helen. I am 67 years old. And for the past 3 years, I have lived in a quiet house filled with the echoes of his footsteps. In the beginning, the silence was deafening. I'd reach for a coffee mug and instinctively grab his too. I'd still fold his sweaters after laundry. His closet, his favorite chair, the tiny notches he made on the garage shelf. All of it stayed. Not because I couldn't let go, but because I wasn't ready to accept I had to. Until last Tuesday morning. I woke up with a jolt, as if summoned. The sun filtered in through the lace curtains we picked together at a flea market in Maine. I sat up in bed and noticed the ring. Still on my finger, still glinting. My hand looked different now. Wrinkled. Freckled with age spots. But the ring was unchanged. I made tea that morning and sat by the bay window, watching the neighborhood shift awake. A woman walked her dog, kids waited for the school bus, and a man I'd never seen jogged by with earbuds in. Life was going on. Life hadn't waited for me. That's when I noticed something small, a bird landing on the porch rail. Nothing unusual, but the way it stared at me, tilting its head curiously, made me smile. I hadn't smiled in a while. Not genuinely. That afternoon I went to the bedroom, opened the small drawer on James' side of the bed, and pulled out a box of old photographs. Our wedding, our trip to Italy, the camping trip we abandoned halfway through because it rained the entire time. All of it felt like a separate lifetime. And still the ring remained. I started painting again that week. I hadn't picked up a brush in over a decade. It used to be a quiet form of rebellion for me. Something that was mine, not ours. James never stopped me, but I always sensed he didn't fully understand it. Now, alone with a canvas and soft classical music playing, I found something buried under the grief me. I painted for hours. Sometimes messy abstract shapes, other times delicate florals. I even tried a self-portrait. But when I looked at what I'd created, it wasn't a grieving widow staring back. It was a woman rediscovering herself, learning the new contours of solitude. One evening, after washing my brushes, I passed by the mirror in the hallway. Pause. I studied the face. My face. Then I looked down at the ring. Without ceremony, without tears, I slid it off. The skin beneath was lighter, untouched by sun, like a hidden memory. I held the ring in my palm for a long time. It felt heavier than I remembered. And then, I placed it in a small glass bowl on the mantel. Not discarded, not forgotten, just no longer needed on my hand. That night, I sat outside on the porch, the air thick with summer humidity, the cicadas in full chorus. I wore my soft robe, one James had gifted me, and I held a mug of chamomile. My hand felt lighter. In the weeks that followed, I joined a local watercolor group. I met women who, like me, were navigating the murky waters of later life identity. We talked, laughed, shared stories of heartbreak and strange joy. One woman, Marjorie, told me how she started wearing mismatched socks after her husband died. "Because who's going to care now?" she said, laughing. And I understood. I began rearranging the house. Small things at first. I moved the armchair, changed the curtains, bought new bed linens in a soft, dusty rose. I was slowly rewriting the space around me. But what surprised me most wasn't what I lost when James passed. It was what I gained when I let go. When I took off the ring, it wasn't betrayal. It was permission. Permission to grieve differently. To honor him by moving forward, not standing still. I still talk to him sometimes. When I misplace my glasses. When I see a funny commercial he would have liked. When I burn toast. But I also talk to myself more. I ask, "What do you want to do today, Helen?" And sometimes the answer surprises me. One day I'll pass the ring on. Maybe to my granddaughter if I have one. Maybe to someone else who believes in enduring love. But for now, it sits quietly in the bowl, gleaming with memory but not dictating my days. I'm 67. I am a widow. But I am also a woman becoming again.